Hello everybody, and now we are back with the last lesson of Unit 7 of Cambridge Global English Book 5. This is Hamid Ali with you. Kindly prepare your books. In this lesson we are going to learn to listen to a story, speak about the characters of a story and its ending, read a summary of it, and do a personality quiz, write answers to questions in a paragraph, a short one, and we are going to learn to predict and speculate. Let's play a guessing game. I'll give you a definition and you will give me the corresponding word. So, for example, what do you call the king of ancient Egypt? What do you call him? Take your time. Yes, Pharaoh. Question 2. What's the name of the ancient Egyptian alphabet? What do we call the alphabet of the ancient Egyptian? Yes, hieroglyphics. Let's take a revision. What do you remember from your lesson 4 about Tutankhamun and his tomb? Would you like to go into the pyramids and see the tombs of the pharaohs?
Moon-like means resembling or like the moon, a moon-like face, smile.
Moon-like.
Winged. Winged. A winged insect or other creature has wings.
As I told you before, when you have ing, you are going to say the N from the nose and you drop the G. Wing. So, as I told you before, you can drop the G sound when you have N from the nose.
If someone has hooded eyes, their eyelids always look as though they are partly closed.
These for excellent students who want extra material.
A hawk is a large bird with a short, hooked beak, sharp claws, and very good eyesight. Hawks catch and eat small birds and animals.
Hawk nose is a nose hooked or curved similar to a hawk's beak.
Hawk nose.
Tubby. Tubby. If you describe someone as tubby, you mean that they are rather fat and short like a tub.
Don't use it offensively, guys.
Pudgy. Pudgy. If you describe someone as pudgy, you mean that they are rather fat in an unattractive way.
Okay, now go to your learner's book, page 104. What famous discoveries have been made in your country? What was discovered and who did it? If you don't know much about the discoveries in your country, you can search the internet for some information. But I expect that you are going to prepare this for me. Now I want you all to look at the pictures, to read the headlines and the keywords, and try to predict and speculate what this story is going to be about. Just think about it. Why I do this? Because you need to think before you take any activity. It's just 1 minute or 2 minutes, but it's gonna make your mind works, you know. It's gonna make it work. Who do you think the main character in this story is? Why do you think so? And what's the title of the story? Now we are going to read and listen. Okay? I hope that you get your pencils and follow the listening word by word to learn how to read better.
Track 42. There's a Pharaoh in Our Bath by Jeremy Strong. Part 1.
The lid of the cobwebbed coffin was slowly pushed back, and the two men laid it carefully on the museum floor. They stared inside at the beautifully painted ancient Egyptian mummy case, covered with picture writing. Daylight was already beginning to fade from the musty storeroom. The other museum staff had gone home, and the only company left with the two men now were the stacks of old mummy cases, ancient skeletons, and a large stuffed rhinoceros. Professor Jelly pulled the lamp closer and inspected the hieroglyphs. The light shimmered across his moon-like face.
"What does it say?"
demanded Grimstone. The head of the museum's ancient Egyptian collection stared over Jelly's shoulder.
"Is it the mummy of the missing pharaoh?"
Okay, other than that voice of that woman, what objects are in the storeroom? How is the mummy case described? What are they looking for? You can go back and read again, or you can open your book at page 105 and look at the answers. Yes, the objects are old mummy case, ancient skeletons and a stuffed rhinoceros. How is the mummy case described? Beautiful, painted, and ancient. And what they were looking for, the mummy of the missing pharaoh.
Part 2.
Professor Jelly took a sweet from his jacket pocket, popped it in his mouth, and bent over the mummy case.
Hazelnut crunch. Now, this squiggly bit here says, "May perfumed flowers be crushed beneath his feet." Very poetic.
"But who's inside?"
Grimstone barked impatiently, and his great winged eyebrows crashed together over his hooded eyes and hawk nose. He stabbed a thin finger at one side of the coffin.
"What about here? What does it say? It looks important."
Professor Jelly sucked noisily on his sweet.
That bit there,
"Yes."
that says, "Please keep this way up at all times."
"What?"
yelled Grimstone.
What?
And that bit,
Continued the professor, waving at some faded hieroglyphs with a pudgy hand.
that bit there says, "Not to be opened before Christmas."
For a few seconds, Grimstone was stunned. Then his eyes glinted dangerously.
"You're making this up, Jelly, aren't you?"
The professor straightened his tubby frame.
Of course I'm making it up. Stop pestering me and let me study it properly. This mummy has been stuck here for 70 years already, ever since it was first brought to the museum from ancient Egypt for the collection. A few more minutes' wait won't hurt.
Okay. Who is getting impatient? Maybe me with this woman. Which of the hieroglyphic message does Professor Jelly invent? Yes, Grimstone. Please keep this way up all times. Not to be open before.
Part 3.
"This could be the discovery of the century. It could make our fortunes. We could be millionaires. The clue to a fabulous treasure is in that coffin."
He turned his back to the professor.
"Come on, Jelly. Get a move on."
The professor was still translating the hieroglyphs on the coffin's side.
He who opens this coffin will be cursed by Anubis. There now. Just our luck. We're going to be cursed by Anubis.
"Who's Anubis?"
demanded Grimstone.
He was the ancient Egyptian god of the dead. Had a head like a jackal.
Okay, now what does Grimstone think they could find in the coffin? And who was Anubis? Yes, the clue to the fabulous treasure. And he was the ancient Egyptian god of the dead. Astaghfirullah. Okay, now you should answer this yourself. Take your time, read all these sentences and tell me if they are true or false. And then come back. Okay, number one, the men put the coffin on the floor before they opened it, so it's true. How about it was night time in the storeroom? False. There were museum staff, mummy cases, stuffed rhinoceros in the storeroom with the two men. False. Okay, you are going to take the others. You can do them on your own. After you replay the video, you're gonna find the answers here. Word study. This is very important. Match the adjectives with the correct part of the body or face. Use your dictionary and the illustrations to help you. Then check your answers with the text. More like. Is it eyes? More like eyes. More like fingers, face, eyebrow, frame, nose. Okay. Of course, it's more like face. When. Okay. Eyebrows. Hooded eyes. O, nose. Chubby frame. G, finger. And this is for your homework. This one, read the description of Grimson's face. Draw a picture of him and the box. Just to draw him, I could do this description. That had great eyebrows, hooded eyes, and nose. I just made it like this. You can do it indifferently. Complete the summary of the extract using the verbs in the box on the past simple, passive, or the past simple. This is very easy. I said was or were plus the past participle. The lid of the coffin was pushed back by the two men. They look. How we are going to answer looked, because it's active. The hieroglyphics on the case inspected by Professor Jelly. This means it's passive, so inspect is gonna be inspected, and the hieroglyphics, it's gonna be where. Okay, where inspected. He take his time, so this is active. So in the past tense he took his time. Okay, now take your time yourself and answer the other four. They are for homework. Now the pronunciation, identify tone. Listen to the direct speech from the story and match with an emotion. Angry, excited, worried, impatient. But who's inside? This is impatient. Of course, I'm making it up. He's angry. This could be the discovery of the century. It could make our fortunes. Excited. You are making this up, Jelly, aren't you? He's worried. And these for your homework, they are the same. One is done for you. Shall I open the school report now? He's worried. Okay, let's go on. Why did you do that? He's angry. Mom, are you ready now? Do them for homework. Now, write. Use subordinate clause to complete these sentences about your opinion of the story. Make negative sentences too. It's up to you now. You can say think, you say hope, believe, or no. We talked about this before. Let's go to the next one. Write a paragraph about what you think happens when the professor opens the coffin. Okay. Value the importance of being patient. In the story, Grimson is very impatient. Read and choose A or B to find out how patient you are. There are no specific answer here. If your answers are mainly A, then you are very impatient. How do you think you could be more patient? If they are mainly B, then you are a very patient person. So it's up to you. You can choose, for example, I hate waiting for people. If you hate it, okay, get A. I don't mind waiting for people. Okay, get B. So as you like, it's up to you. The importance of being patient. write sentences about situations in which you need to be patient. I need to be patient on a long journey, and so on, for your own. Now we are going to take this great and very, very, very important revision. Okay, the period chamber were full of robbers, chariots, or jewels and treasures. You need to concentrate on this. Try to read the 4 questions, answer them, and get back to me to see the answers. Thank you. Come back. Jewels and treasures. Fought against wild animals. Who are they? Yes, gladiators. Mummies were put in a sarcophagus. The pharaoh's body was covered. Alright, creams were used to preserve the soul, skin, and hair. Cause of the skin. Romans were tunic and shoes, togas and boots, tunics and sandals, which cross tunics and sandals. They traveled in chariots, traveled by car. Of course, we're gonna use whereas. The year is, look here, MM, and you have the X, the V, and I. Are the 2015, 2016, 2014? You need to think about it. Okay, which one is it? It's 2016. Yes, at least if you look at this, it's gonna answer it for you. You don't have, this is 14, 15, so look at this one. All right, read these first and then come back. The Roman artifacts in a well in London were discovered. Here we have 2. We have was and were. Discovered. Of course, discovered no, because it's passive. Yes, were discovered because artifacts are plural. Crimstone had a nose. Yes. Professor Jerry had a hand. When Pachi moonlight. Yes, Pachi. If you don't mind waiting for people, patient, excited, patient. And this one is your turn. You can do it on your own. What topics did you like and why? What activities did you like and why? And so on. Thank you very much.